And welcome back here on Adobe Live, adobelive.com. That's where all the action is. So if you're watching this on YouTube or any other kind of screen, come back to adobelive.com because that's where the full experience is. That's where you can see what's happening over the 3 days. This is day one of a 3-day extravaganza on mobile illustration. And for the next 2 hours, I'm here with Alice and Sophia. Hey there.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Welcome to Adobe Live. So Sophia and Alice will be working with Adobe Photoshop Sketch. So that's the application that creates pixel-based art, and that is also tightly linked with Photoshop on the desktop. So you can actually, send this stuff directly from the mobile app to Photoshop on the desktop, or any other app in the Creative Cloud, really. So tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Should I go first?
Yeah, go first.
Hi, my name is Sophia. I'm an illustrator and cartoonist. I've been freelancing in San Francisco for a couple years now. I do book illustration, editorial illustration, some VR work. I also do my own comics in my spare time. I have a book coming out later this year with my collected comics.
Cool.
And I work almost exclusively in Photoshop. I sketch in my sketchbook, but I've been looking for something that would be like more of a mobile Photoshop experience. So for me, this is like a test run for using Photoshop as a sketchbook.
So, but you still, go around with your sketchbook. I've seen your sketchbook just 5 seconds ago
I have
here.
it right over here.
You have it right next to you. Okay, so maybe later we can have a little peek in your sketchbook,
sure,
because I think this is something that our viewers really appreciate, is to see how create. Yeah, we will do it. We will do it. Let's just chill out. Anyway, this is day one, and we'll have plenty of time to look at Sophia's sketchbook. And how about you, Alice?
Yeah, I'm also an illustrator, and I also live here in San Francisco. Actually, Sophia and I just realized that our art studios are like really close to each other. So I have an art studio in the Mission, and I work mainly with tech companies, and I do a little bit of editorial work as well. And yeah, I mainly use the iPad for sketching. So it'll be fun to do some more like finished and like polished pieces today.
All right, awesome. So this is the first time you guys meet?
Yeah,
In person, yeah.
In person? Oh, okay. So you've been collaborating before, or?
No.
We'd seen each other's work online, which is the case usually with
You've seen each
illustrators.
other's work online. So what's Alice doing today? Okay. Oh, Sophia. Oh, that's nice, Sophia.
Yeah, like the SF illustration community. Would you say that there's like
We're all kind of workaholics, I guess.
Yeah, it's like maybe like a loose network of people.
Not workaholics, drawaholics.
Yes.
That's a hard word. Is
Drawaholics.
I can't even say it. Hello, everybody in the chat, and welcome. And like I said, the full experience of this live stream is on adobelive.com. That's where the schedule for the 3 days is. That's also where we have a special tab illustrating the competition we have going on. So basically what we ask our viewers to do over these 3 days is to create illustrations or artwork using either Illustrator Draw or Photoshop Sketch on their mobile device, and submit their drawings to either Twitter or Instagram using the Adobe Live hashtag. And on Thursday evening, the deadline is Thursday evening, so at the end of day 3, that's the deadline. And then on Friday morning, a selected jury will select the best 10 artworks that have been submitted to Twitter and Instagram, and the lucky winners will get a 1-year subscription to Adobe Creative Cloud and a 1-year subscription also to Adobe Stock, meaning that they will be able to download 10 images every month for a full year. That's what, 10 times 12, that's 120 images. Oh, I'm jet lagged, but I'm still good at math. At easy math. All right, so Sophia, and so something's happening here. Okay, we're just charging an Apple Pencil.
Also, can folks in the chat hear us okay? I know some people were talking about the mics, maybe.
Okay, so maybe we can move your mic up a little bit still, and okay.
Also,
Awesome.
Jenny in the chat was asking where SF illustrators meet each other, and I was just telling Alice there's a comic book festival, SF Zine Fest, coming up at the beginning of September. And that's where I met a lot of local cartoonists. So you can go and sort of see what people are producing, prints, comics, zines, whatever, and maybe bring your own stuff to trade. And that's a really good way to meet local artists.
Yeah. I met a lot of people through the internet.
Yeah, same.
Twitter.
Yeah. Rufus is way too loud. Well,
Sorry.
What's new?
We'll try to speak up.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'll try to speak very
Very
softly.
Okay. Yeah.
So, Sophia and Alice, what are we going to work on, and how are we gonna? How did you guys think about, working over the 3 days that we're together?
Yeah. Well.
That's not finished, is it?
Did you just trigger the art director?
Okay, that's our.
Trust me.
That's the hovering art director right here.
He's really giving me
Yeah.
some
I'm
anxiety.
gonna shut the hovering art director off. There's
Trust me.
thankfully an off button here, and
Oh, thank God.
all right.
Yeah.
So actually, he can watch you guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah,
That
and
doesn't
like say,
necessarily make me feel
Can you make it pop?
Yeah. Yeah. Why don't you add the
little
logo?
pizzazz.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow, we have both iPads on the screen. That's awesome.
Sweet.
So
yeah.
basically, you both have to be productive at the same time.
I'm wondering
And-
what we're doing.
And then we can have like a Twitter poll and say, okay, which iPad is more productive, left or right?
I was going to say that we should have some sort of collaboration rather
Yeah.
than a competition.
Yeah.
Something that
Absolutely.
would make our pieces relate to each other somehow. I love
That'd be
yours
cool.
right now.
Yeah. Just starting off strong.
Yeah,
All right, so
excellent.
on the left of the screen, we have
Oh, yeah, that's
Alice's.
No, is that
Yeah.
flipped or?
Yeah, it's we have Alice's screen on the left, and
No, I'm on the right. Right?
No, you're the smiley.
Yeah, that's the right.
Oh,
Or is
that's
it-
the
or is it
right.
flipped?
Oh, that's right. I was looking at my hands, and usually
I know, I did that
where you can make the letter L, that's
Yeah,
where left
I did that
is.
too.
And I was going to say, oh, that looks like the letter L. That's left. All right.
Jet lag,
on
yeah.
the- yeah, that's what you get from I just flew in from Florence, Italy. That's where I live.
Oh,
Oh,
wow,
cool.
Yeah, so,
amazing. That's a very artistic city.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I moved to Florence, is to paint.
Oh, amazing.
What? That's so
Yes.
cool.
in like
Yeah.
the traditional chiaroscuro style?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, amazing. That's
Classical
so
style.
cool.
Yeah.
That's not
And,
my skill at all.
But look at me now. I wanted to get away from computers, and
Yeah.
I'm right
back in.
here
Back in the live stream.
in the devil's den. All right, and so on the right we have Sophia's, and on the left we have Alice's screen. All right.
Yeah, so I think we should maybe talk about having our
Yeah.
pieces grow together in some way. But I don't know if I'm going to be working on the same thing for all 3 days. I guess I can kind of see, but to start with, I'm definitely going to be just doing like a sketch layer, messing around with the pencil tool, and kind of getting a sense for what I want the piece to be, maybe roughing out color after that. Are you going to just mess around for a bit, you think?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna sketch and then add in like colors and stuff afterwards. I have this idea of like drawing this this character that I always draw, but in like weird settings. So
That's like the direction I'm going in
Oh,
for sure.
excellent.
That's
Yeah.
kind of my go-to. I mean, I like drawing characters in settings interacting with each other and then sort of populating the space with a bunch of like knickknacks and books and like bowls and objects so that I can like extend the design sensibility to like everything in the scene.
Oh, cool.
So it's not just the character design, but like the textile design and like the shoe design.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was gonna draw like this person in a kitchen or a garden because I just want to draw like giant tomatoes.
I find drawing plants really like meditative.
Yeah.
You can just kind of zone out.
Cool.
How do you pan on these, by the way?
Oh, you just do this.
Oh, just do this.
With your-
Oh,
yeah.
got it.
Yeah, I wonder how we can make our images relate to each other. That'd be kind of cool.
I feel completely useless.
What?
Talk about the contest.
Yeah.
Yeah, what- yeah.
I already did. Yeah.
Yeah, but okay.
Again, yes. Well,
There's a survey also. You want
There
to
is
give
a
us feedback on
survey.
Adobe Live?
all right. So there's a survey on adobelive.com. There's a button somewhere.
Give us feedback.
Give us
At the
feedback. Oh, yes, okay. Oh, I see it now. Yes, give us feedback. So please
Very
take a second and press that little button, give us feedback, and tell us what you think of these Adobe Live streams here on adobelive.com. And on adobelive.com, there's the full schedule for the 3 days. This is day 1 of 3 of mobile illustration. There's a tab for the contest. There's also the live chat here. There's a button to share your portfolio with us. If you want us to have a look at your Behance portfolio, there's of course the button to subscribe to the Adobe Creative Cloud YouTube channel, which is super useful because there's a little bell icon on YouTube that you can click as well and get alerted every time we're live here on the Creative Cloud YouTube channel. So please do that. We love subscribers.
Yeah.
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 Let me turn the covering art director on again.
No,
I'm gonna
please
stress
no.
you guys.
Feels too designed.
How could it feel too designed when we're just sketching?
That's so funny.
I think this art director is a hypocrite. Something that would be cool is like if people, I mean, I don't want to rope you into anything you're not comfortable
No, go
with,
for it.
but if people in the chat want to like throw out objects that we have to incorporate into the scene somehow, and then we both
Yeah.
incorporate it in completely different ways,
So
it could be cool to see.
do you guys know Kyle Webster?
Yeah, I
From
love
Kyle's
Kyle.
Brushes?
Yeah.
So Kyle just said Sophia's Google Doodle with the
Oh,
woman
thank you,
tennis player
Kyle.
is one of the best I've ever seen.
I
Awesome.
100% used your brushes for that, so take some credit. Yeah, Kyle does these really amazing Photoshop brushes that I've been using for many, many years now. Some of them I use right out of the box, some of them I tweak a little bit. Like, you know, in Photoshop you can go to the settings for any individual brush and kind of change the opacity or like the stroke, you know, the pressure sensitivity. So you can like mess around with it until it feels right for you, but those brushes are like feel very natural for drawing for me, and I've kind of made them a part of my regular workflow.
Have you started using them on the on Photoshop Sketch as well?
Oh, I haven't yet, but I did hear that you
Yep.
can get them right in the mobile app and use them in this too.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, I've recently used a lot of the Kyle halftone brushes.
Oh, they're
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
Those are great. I have a funny story about those. I went to Japan on a trip, and they've got these amazing art supply stores where they have actual screen tone, like in sheets that you can buy, sort of cut out and paste into your
Like
work.
Letraset kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly. But like literally 50 aisles of screen tone that you can sort through because
Cool.
the comic industry like makes so much use of it. And I was looking for this one particular design that I'd seen in a comic that I really liked, and I couldn't find it anywhere. But then when Kyle released his screen tone set, it was in there. So I could finally use it. It's impossible to describe, but it's kind of this like hexagonal dot pattern that's really cool. Thank you, Kyle, for ending my quest for the perfect screen tone.
Yeah, I remember when I was at school. it was still Letraset halftone stuff.
Yeah. I like kind of dabbling in that old-fashioned stuff sometimes, just because it makes you appreciate how easy you have it with all the software that does everything for you.
So you just made Kyle's day.
Oh, is he into it?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
no,
so
this
glad.
story made my
Oh,
day,
hey,
so-
Willie.
yeah.
Oh, a horse. I don't want to incorporate a horse in my...
Yeah.
Horses are so hard to draw.
Horses are hard. I'll do it somewhere.
We had a streamer a few weeks ago in Paris, and on day 1, she just went there and drew a horse,
Wow.
like out of memory, without any reference at all.
Yeah, I would
Was-
definitely... If I drew a horse right now, it would be... Let's see, I'll try it up here. They've got like
Yeah.
really, really long heads like tubes, nostrils, eyes way at the other end, and then like weird little ears, and then a
A
mane.
nice long mane.
This is my horse. Oh, yours is cute. Mine is hideous.
Oh, you know what? Mine can be like the you know, the kind that the kids
Oh
ride.
yeah, that they ride around on. I
Yeah.
mean, mine could be too, actually. Yeah, maybe should I leave it in there, or is that weird?
No, I don't think it's weird.
Oh, okay.
It can just be
All right,
this
it's gonna
crazy
be a
world.
horse toy.
Yeah. Thanks for the contribution. Oh, hey, Nathan. These are my friends. They
All
really
right.
like horses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a way to like select part of a layer and put it on a new layer?
Oh, that's
easily?
right. Thank you, Evil Cerise.
Oh, cool.
Evil Cerise, one of our mods, just posted the link to Therese Larson's stream with us, where she drew the horse.
Oh,
So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Is there like
How do I
a
incorporate this horse?
lasso tool to put something on a new layer if I wanted to move it to a new layer?
I'm not sure.
You can duplicate the layer
Mm.
and your
Oh.
right button
Oh,
will
okay.
be the transform.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
I think it's a long tap on that. Yeah.
Duplicate. Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
That's very interesting information, Rob Thomas. The #1 state for horse is to retire his mane.
Oh.
Wow. I wonder why.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's the opposite of Florida, which is the #1 state
Yeah.
for humans to retire.
Yeah, where humans retire is Florida, right?
And then to move a layer, let's see. Transform. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I don't want the. I wanted to have her sitting in a cool chair.
Oh,
So
cool.
I think I'm gonna have the horse thing leaning against the chair. Leave it right there.
I wonder what horses do when they're retired.
Yeah, I wonder.
They just eat all day, I guess. And go.
Sounds pretty similar to their pre-retired life.
Well, no, because in their pre-retired life, they have to pull stuff or ride people around.
Mm.
Yeah. That doesn't sound fun.
Thank you, Kyle, for answering Valeria's question about the your brushes on Android devices. So yeah, there should be an update coming soon for that.
Yeah.
How many layers can you make in Photoshop Sketch?
I don't know. I've never tried making
Are we gonna push the
a
limit?
ton. Yeah.
I would say.
Is there a limit in Photoshop Regular?
I've used
I think
hundreds and
999.
hundreds. Yeah, I have not hit the limit yet. Thank
20.
God.
To be 20 for a
Yeah.
very long time.
I think the bigger constraint for Photoshop is when I run out of like scratch disk space or like whatever.
I have like a lot of movies and TV shows on my computer, and sometimes I'll open up a really large PSD, and I need to like delete files in order to be able to open it.
Yeah, because then it comes down to the RAM, right? So
Yeah,
basically what
exactly.
they say is you should have at least double the RAM of the file, the size of the file you're opening.
I should really upgrade my computer. I know some people have like iMac setups, but I just use my laptop usually, and it could stand to be a little more powerful.
Yeah, 2 gigs of RAM won't cut it anymore. What's in the bowl?
Oh, this bowl? It's gonna be popcorn,
Mm.
but it won't become obvious until I ink it. I'm just doing like a rough layer right now.
And Kyle is asking, are we still throwing out ideas? Because some floral and plant elements would be nice
Yeah.
to draw,
I
perhaps.
that's a much more welcome addition than a horse. Thank you, Kyle.
This looks like a short list. I need it to be gold. Think bigger, but keep it simple.
Why does he have
Who
a
this
British
voice?
accent?
Yeah, this voice sounds really familiar. What?
I
Seriously?
might just be associating it with art directors of old. but
Yeah.
Is it a famous voice actor?
It sounds so familiar.
Hmm.
It sounds like Game of Thrones. Something.
Have you been watching Game of Thrones?
Yeah. I actually read all the leaks and I'm filled with regret.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Yeah. Have you guys been watching Game of Thrones?
I watched everything up until now, but I haven't seen the new season yet.
Spoiler.
No spoilers. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. I wouldn't. That's mean.
Yeah, winter is coming. So, and basically, this reminds me of our competition the competition we're running, because if you go on adobelive.com, there's a little tab that says contest, and basically what we ask you to do is to create an illustration with the theme summer.
Oh.
Yeah, no, not winter. All right, the theme is summer. So your illustrations, please share them with us on Twitter or Instagram using the Adobe Live hashtag, one word, Adobe Live, and on you have until Thursday, 11 p.m. Pacific time. I wonder why 11 p.m. Pacific time? Why not midnight?
Hey.
Because midnight is confusing.
Midnight is
realize I was there.
confusing,
Yeah.
so 11
Cool.
Pacific.
Hey.
On which day is midnight?
Yeah,
It's Thursday? Yeah, it's confusing.
so smart.
So 11.
Yeah, 11:59 Pacific time. No, 11 Pacific time, and there will be 10 winners who will be announced on Friday by the Twitter handle mshez, Michael Shez. Yeah, he's grinning there.
Nice. What's not Kyle's fault? Someone said Kyle.
Yeah.
think
That
it's-
it doesn't quite work on Android devices yet to have Kyle's brushes in Photoshop Sketch. So there is Photoshop Sketch and Adobe Illustrator Draw on Android, of course, but there was an issue with imported brushes.
Yeah, that's not Kyle's fault.
Yeah.
That's definitely not Kyle's fault. Yeah, so Kyle was on a stream with us. Oh well, last week?
Oh, really?
No, 2 weeks ago
Oh,
with Jason. Kyle.
It was in June in Paris with us.
Yeah, but then he was also here, no?
Oh, it was
Okay.
a naked show.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
I was just in Paris for a vacation.
Yeah, so we stream out of Paris sometimes.
cool.
Well,
There are so many good cartoonists in France.
there's a long tradition of cartoonists, and especially Belgium and
Yeah. I also went to the cartooning capital of France, Angoulême.
Angoulême.
Yeah,
Yes.
my
Mhm.
friend was doing a comics residency there, and it's an amazing place. Like every street sign is shaped like a little word balloon. They have a cartooning museum, this amazing library with like thousands and thousands of comics from all different time periods.
I have so many comics at my home that I used to go to these big comic fairs, like also in Angoulême and around France and Switzerland, and have all these signed books.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
A dragon.
A dragon. Horses, dragons.
Who's
These are
RH?
getting so complicated.
RH, I don't know. Anybody can be named whatever they want in the chat.
That's nice.
That's why we have Evil Cerise, and I can tell you that's not his real name.
Are you gonna put a dragon in yours, Alice?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm not sure where I would put it, but yeah, I'll work it in.
If people keep suggesting large animals, we're gonna run out of space really quickly.
True.
But I could put like maybe like a stuffed animal. Continue the theme. of
Yeah,
these being
stuffed animal.
Toys.
Yeah, I like that.
Like
What
a
is-
stuffed dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is the dragon because of Game of Thrones? What does the dragon look like? Forgot.
They can look like anything in different cultures. They have like completely different.
Yeah.
You could just do like a snake with a cool design on it.
So I think I drew mine too small, so I'm gonna make it bigger.
I'm like struggling with perspective over here.
So the big difference between Photoshop Sketch and Illustrator Draw, of course, is that Illustrator Draw is vector-based, and Photoshop Sketch is not. It's pixel-based.
Yeah.
So basically, you choose the size of your canvas when you create the new document, and that's the amount of pixels you'll get.
I sometimes go back and forth with like vector-based art and pixel-based art in my work, especially if I'm doing something geometric. I just like pop into Illustrator.
Mm-hmm.
Make it more interactive.
Okay.
Okay.
Was
I'll
that
try
you?
it.
Did you?
No.
Oh, okay. He just
Maybe it's just talking.
does
I
it
don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it has a
spontaneously.
timer in it.
Keep you on your toes.
I think it's just a vibration.
Oh, okay.
This looks like a short list. I need it to be gold.
Got it?
Got it.
What does that mean?
Oh, do I pass my water?
Sure.
Thanks.
Oh my god, here's this cool. I like the greenhouse vibe.
Oh, maybe I can incorporate like stairs or something.
Uh-huh.
How does that stand feel?
It's great.
Is this
yeah.
Robzilla's stand?
Mhm.
Okay.
I forget
Oh, hey.
who manufactured it, but it has like 3 different elevation modes, which is good. My Cintiq has one just like
It's
this.
heavy.
Yeah, it's very sturdy, which is also something you want in case your iPad goes flying if you press too hard.
What brush are you using? Oh, you're using the pencil.
Yeah, I'm just using the pencil right now.
Yeah, let's try some of these out.
The thing I like about this setup compared to like the Cintiq is that with the Cintiq there's a pretty thick layer of glass between the tip of the
Yeah.
stylus and the screen. So there's like a little bit of separation, but with this Apple Pencil it feels more like drawing on paper.
Yeah.
So you prefer it?
Yeah, I think so. That was always my, I always kept coming back to just sketchbook and pencil because of the immediacy, and this definitely is a step up in that respect.
Jenny's asking, Sophia, how are you holding your hand while using an iPad stand?
I guess we can sort of turn
yeah.
and show the... Can people see from the GoPro how my hand position is? Yeah, just kind of like resting.
Do you ever run into things with issues with carpal tunnel?
All of my friends have carpal tunnel, and I don't get it unless I've been working like for a week straight on one project. I do a lot of hand stretches. What you're supposed to do is like every 20 minutes you stop drawing, you do
Oh, we
one
should
of
do that,
these.
yeah.
Yeah, this is the good one. I do the other one just to be safe, even though I'm not using it. And then you pull from the other side. And then you take your hand and you twist it like this, and then you go down like that.
Oh, like this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Oh, okay.
But actually, it's weird.
Yeah,
I
I
get
love your pin. I just
thanks.
noticed this.
Yeah,
Is
my
that
friend Laura made it.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Shout out to Laura.
That's so
Go
cute.
Sleefords.
Yeah, and like I know some people who wear braces while they sleep to kind of like relieve pressure, because it's like the tendons right in your wrist that are getting compressed. Having a working larger helps. So my Cintiq that I work on is the 24-inch model, so you do like larger motions with your hand, and when you're doing like small tight motions you're at a larger risk. But it also depends on your drawing style. Like my line work is super tight, so I think I'm more at risk than maybe some other people. Have you been having issues with it?
I used to last year, because that was when I was just like, I'm never gonna get it. Like, I'm in my youth, like, whatever.
Everyone who's ever gotten it has said that at some
Yeah,
point in
like,
their life.
I've gone through like college and I was fine.
Yeah.
And then I had some issues. But then I figured out what worked for me, so now I don't really have it.
Was it just a matter of position of your hand?
Yeah, it was
cool.
a few things. I think some of it was psychological. And then some of it was prevention, so like posture and exercises. And like even simple things like you're supposed to try to have both your feet on the ground.
Oh yeah, I'm not doing that right now.
Yeah, like
You're supposed to have both your feet on the ground, and your hands should be, your elbows should be at a right angle if possible.
Yeah, it should not be
Yeah.
acute. Yeah.
Yeah, but I always just wind up like
Yeah.
constricting myself in a pile.
Because when you sit cross-legged and lean on your hand, then you're putting all that pressure on your wrist. So that's like the idea. So I never did that. And also like the exercises.
Yeah, definitely like just kind of take a break every now and then and move around. That's the biggest deal.
Yeah, I think some of it was also psychological, you know, like
tension that you were feeling.
Just like, oh my god, like I have carpal tunnel. You know, like the more I freaked out about it, like the more tense I would get, and the more like afraid of having carpal tunnel.
That's one of the reasons I loved when the iPad Pro came in, because it was the size of a sheet of paper, right?
Yeah.
And finally, for drawing, it made a whole bunch of sense.
Yeah, it's much
For
better.
anything else, you know, all right, it's nice to watch movies on, but you know you can do that on a phone or a smaller iPad. But for drawing, I think the size is really, really good.
Totally. Have you ever run into any carpal tunnel or like wrist issues?
No.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I guess with painting, it's like broader strokes, so you don't risk it quite as much, maybe.
Yeah, and I got it on my left hand, actually, even though I'm right-handed, because this is like the commands hand.
Yeah,
it's
I
like
have the exact thing.
V,
I was
whatever.
even, while I was drawing on the iPad, my left hand was like doing the Control-Z motion because I'm so used to it. I've trained myself.
Yeah, so I got one of those kinetic keyboards, the kind where it's it looks really weird. It's like scooped in. It's not flat.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's supposed to be more like natural for movement.
I guess I just evolved with the tech. Oh, how do you use a mouse anymore? I do everything with the trackpad.
Oh, really? Trackpad? I actually think the trackpad is where I had the most issues with carpal tunnel. Because it's just like a weird... Like, I would just do this a lot. So that's, like, not good for your wrist. You're supposed to, like, be elevated or, like, not leaning on it. So, yeah.
Yeah, these are both
my God, thanks,
iPad
Eleanor.
Pros,
Eleanor Davis is in the
the
show.
large ones, the A4 sized ones.
Oh, yeah.
A4 and letter are pretty similar, right?
Yeah, letter is a little bit it's less wide and longer, I think, or taller.
What have you guys been thinking about recently?
Like in general?
Yeah.
I've been watching Twin Peaks, so I've been thinking about that.
Oh, cool.
And also, like I told you, I'm working on a furniture zine.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking a lot about like furniture and how stylish you can make it without compromising for comfort, I guess. Like this chair I'm drawing is like quite impractical. I'm like moving the person's limbs around so that they'll fit in it because it's just like so convoluted, but I'm drawing it this way because I like the aesthetics of it. So that it's like, as an artist, when is it okay to compromise the comfort of the...
So Gary's asking how is palm rejection working for you guys?
Palm rejection.
Yeah, like
Like when you accidentally
Yeah.
finger paint? Is that what it means?
because you can turn palm rejection on, right?
Oh, you can?
Yep. In the little wheel here.
Oh.
In settings?
In the settings, where was it? No, I'm gonna have
Sure.
to find it. Yeah.
That's okay. Oops.
I'm getting a few stray things from the corner of my hand, but this is still just a sketch layer, so I don't mind.
Yeah.
But that would be good to know how to do. What's been on your mind lately?
I've been having really like vivid dreams.
Oh yeah.
It's really weird, yeah, but it's kind of
Exciting.
cool. Yeah. I started taking this thing called magnesium.
As
to
For
like
your
a
memory?
supplement. Yeah.
Yeah. Or no, not for my memory, to counteract some other stuff. But it gave me like really vivid dreams, which I've been actually really enjoying.
Yeah.
I've been dreaming about like Game of Thrones. I was like a pro soccer player. in
Oh
my
really?
dream.
Oh, I
2
thought you were
nights
gonna
ago.
say for real life.
Yeah, no, I wish.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Don't you find that you sometimes, when I have really vivid dreams, I wake up and I feel like more tired? But do you
Oh.
find that to be the case?
No, I'm just like confused. Like, what the heck?
I'm having such a hard time with the perspective on this thing.
The chair?
Yeah.
What is the...
I want these to be symmetrical,
Oh.
but I feel like this one keeps like curving up. Are people seeing this? I'll keep trying.
Whoa, you guys are getting deep today. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious, you know?
Yeah, you can also set up what
There we go.
touch controls. Mine is set up to use the finger as an eraser.
Oh, really?
That's pretty cool.
Oh, I would love to know how to do that.
In the
I
settings.
haven't set it up on this one.
In the settings.
It's in the settings, right?
Ooh, I love your, like, setup.
Huh?
Like, I love all the little details.
Oh,
Like,
thank
the
you.
little flower.
This is what I like to draw,
Mhm.
just like populating everything with tiny little knickknacks. Settings. Is it in gestures? Ooh. Oh, this is so useful for me to know.
See? Learning everything
2-finger swipe to the left.
on day one.
Oh my
Live
god!
stream on mobile illustration.
Did you guys see this?
What? Oh, that's cool.
Did you know you could do that?
No, that's awesome.
You just like swipe with 2 fingers and it does undo. I've been
Oh, cool.
clicking
And-
this button like a fool.
Yeah, and if you do with 3 fingers,
Uh-huh.
you can undo the whole history, I think.
Oh, well, I don't want to hit that by accident.
Well, you can go back. You can go back to.
okay. Oh, history. And then you go back. Oh, okay. Let me see if I can do that. All right, 3 strokes, 3 fingers. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You can just like dial them in and out. That's amazing. Okay, I'm so sold on this. But I still want to see eraser, stamp shape, rotate shape. Yeah, I don't know if I can set it up from here, though, like using your finger as an eraser thing. That would be chill. Alright, I'm gonna get in the habit of using these gestures instead of hitting buttons.
If time exists without us, how can we make some time for something if we don't own it?
Oh, are those the deep thoughts that
Yeah,
the chat
that's
is bringing?
that's Jan Eric's.
Wow,
Jan Eric's
okay.
deep thoughts. Yes.
Thank you.
Jan Eric is our deep thinker in the chat.
Maybe we're just
Gotta have one of those.
exist. Have you guys ever seen Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared?
What's that?
Oh, it's this like hilarious, like dark comedy YouTube miniseries that it's like masquerading as a children's program. But they have a whole, and they like sing songs, but it's like very dark. And they have a whole thing about about time and if time is real. It's like very dark for like, and it's like these puppets that are singing. Anyway, never mind.
Well, I'm sure somebody will find the link to it.
Yeah, it's great. I really recommend watching it.
Let's see, I want to get...
Oh, lemonlightning.com says you have to exit the canvas to get to the app settings.
Oh, okay. I'll do that some other time. Right now I'm trying to get this... Yeah, I wanted to get some good pressure sensitivity on the eraser.
And this one is asking, are you doing the different parts on different layers, or are you just...
What? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
think so.
I just have one layer for now because I'm still sketching.
Mhm.
I'm probably not gonna go to color. What time is it right now?
11:40
Okay, yeah,
Pacific time.
maybe by
PST.
noon I'll start like hashing out
Another-
some colors.
Hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, something I do a lot of in Photoshop is using the overlay layers, and you can do that here.
To colorize what's underneath, or
Yeah, for like shadows and stuff like that. So that's why I was just separating it, so it's like a little bit easier to do that later. Oh, yeah. Don't hug me, I'm scared. It's really funny and like dark.
And Evil Cerise says, just heads up, don't hug me, I'm scared. Might not be suited for everyone.
Oh, yeah, it's not suitable for like children especially. So don't be like, oh, this looks like a friendly children's program. There's like a puppet and like, yeah.
Hey, Rudy K. Yes, Rufus is back. Well, it's never really left, but So I saw Alex that you put some swatches on the
Oh
on
yeah.
the paper as well.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just
Is that something you do?
Yeah.
Right?
I just like to do that, even when I'm working analog, like painting.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So yeah. But I know you can see the history as well, so you kind of have a mini swatch there too. Okay, let me draw this horse.
The horse is so cute. I might redesign mine a little bit. He's a little goofy.
Have you ever I mean, I'm sure like everyone has, but have you ever gotten a project and sent in like your final and then gotten feedback that it's like just too weird?
Yeah, I got that recently actually.
Oh,
And
cool.
it wasn't the subject so much as the color palette. I was trying for something like really psychedelic and wild. And the art director was like, yeah, can you maybe just make it a monochrome drawing?
Oh, okay.
As if it was totally unsalvageable. But then I kind of I added like a pop of color here and there and saved it. I have some friends who are really good at doing a piece with a lot of neon colors and like things that are not usually that color and making it work and seem cohesive.
Yeah.
I think my coloring is probably a little more naturalistic, but I wanted to push myself a little bit. It's probably a worthwhile experiment, just not ready to go to print, you know?
Yeah.
Do you experiment to push your style ever?
Yeah. It's kind of an interesting balance because a lot of the work that I do with tech companies is done in their house style, like their brand style. With me injected into it, and then I would say the other stuff that I dabble in, like editorial work, can just be like me.
Yeah.
So it's kind of an interesting balance between pushing my own self and then also trying to convince someone this is cool. It's not weird. Don't worry. It's not too out there.
Yeah.
In the tech landscape or whatever.
Well, I feel like even if you're working in a house style, they want it to feel whimsical and
unique.
lighthearted. So yeah, I definitely have to try and introduce that. I introduce it into my personal work first, and then kind of let it trickle down into my professional work.
So Lewis is asking, do these applications work with the iPad mini? Yes, they do, but of course it's a smaller size, so it makes it less functional for drawing. That's what I mentioned before, is what I really like about the iPad Pro, the larger one, is that it really feels like the size of a sheet of paper, and you can really freely draw on it. When it becomes smaller, it gets also more complicated.
There's no Apple Pencil.
And there's no Apple Pencil for the iPad mini, so that's another big thing. I think one of the game changers with the iPad Pro was really the Apple Pencil, and I think it's an awesome tool. I really like it because
it's nice.
It's not only the shape of a pencil, but it's also the weight of a pencil.
Yeah.
And so it feels really, really natural.
Oh, cool. Smudge.
You can smudge in there?
You can do
nice. I like that.
Yeah, that's with the Apple Pencil. Yeah, it has tilt on it, so basically you can shade. If you hold the pencil on the side a little bit, you can shade things in. Yes, there are various styli that can be used as a substitute for the Apple Pencil. I don't have any in mind right now, but you can either find those on the at the Apple Store or check it online. Oh, the 53 pencil, yeah.
Oh yeah.
For example. That's also right, Mel. Wacom has some styli as well. There's quite a few around.
Do you do a lot of like observational drawing in your sketchbook when you're out and about?
Yeah, sometimes. It's not at that. I don't try to make it like that polished looking.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like whatever.
Yeah.
Random stuff. Do you do a lot of that?
Yeah, I used to try and like, whenever I was going through a park, just kind of sit down and do some live sketching. Just because that was so important for me when I was learning as a student, how to get in like a feeling of motion.
So that's a good question, Helen. The Instagram pages for Alice and Sophia.
Oh, yeah.
I think Evil Cerise. Oh, there we go. As we speak.
Thanks.
Thank you, Evil Cerise.
Thank you.
Thank
Great
you.
job as
Evil
always.
Cerise.
Yep.
Evil Cerise is not so evil.
Yeah.
No.
You're actually very
Extremely
nice.
helpful, yeah.
We have a very, very friendly chat. Everybody helps out each other.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Do you guys listen to podcasts or anything while you guys work?
Are you asking the chat or me? Or both of
You
us?
and everyone.
Yeah, I listen to so many podcasts. I'm totally hooked. I subscribe to like 80 of them.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
I listen to a lot of Maximum Fun podcasts.
what's that?
It's like a podcast network based out of LA. There's like the McElroy brothers have a lot of shows on that network.
Okay.
So like The Adventure Zone, which is about Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, cool.
And My Brother and Me, which is a fake advice podcast.
Okay.
I guess it's a real advice podcast, but it's like more of a comedy podcast.
Did you guys spend a lot of time in public transport or?
I listen while I draw.
While you draw. Yeah,
Well,
okay.
it sort of depends on what I'm doing. If I'm sketching, like I'm doing with like this phase of the piece right now, I need to have more of my attention devoted to it.
Mhm.
But when I'm inking, which I'll do later on, it's quite automatic.
Okay.
And then
And
coloring.
then you can focus on other things as well.
Yeah, when I'm coloring, I kind of like go back to music so that I can pay a little more attention. Inking is definitely the more monotonous phase of the process. What about you?
I don't really listen to that many podcasts. I do listen to Game of Thrones podcasts.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a podcast for that as well?
They're not really
Like
podcasts.
The spoiler podcast?
It's just like people
The
talking
discussion
and like
podcast.
speculating,
Okay,
basically.
Speculating.
Yeah,
okay.
it's just people like every time an episode comes out, people will like speculate on the internet, like, oh,
But
that's
no
what this
speculation is necessary anymore because the scripts have been stolen, right?
means. Yeah, well, even with that, we don't even know if that's like.
Even that is speculation.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, they could be fake.
That would be funny if they just came up with a very like plausible fake
Yeah,
script
wouldn't that be
and
hilarious?
made everyone pissed off at them.
Yeah.
I listened to a similar one for Twin Peaks, actually.
If it was like bad fan fiction or something.
Yeah, I guess Twin Peaks needs a lot of explanation.
I mean, they do their best. I don't know if they managed to explain anything. Usually the podcast hosts are just sort of like, did you understand that? No, me neither. Well, we love the show anyway.
Well, I have to admit I haven't understood anything so far.
Have you watched the original series?
Yes, of course.
Oh, yeah.
This one, I mean, there was no DVR at the time. There was nothing like that, and you actually had to wait for it to begin on TV, and then we actually had parties, the Twin Peaks parties
amazing.
at my house, where all my friends would come over and we would watch Twin Peaks together.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, I did something like that with my friends, but it was pretty recently.
Yeah. I did that
Now
with
you
my
can just
friends.
record it
Yeah.
or watch it whenever you want. It's different.
Yeah.
I feel like I've redrawn this chair arm 10 times.
Maybe you could
Just
put
really-
something in front of
I
it.
know, that's what I was thinking. Like, what if there's just some plant that's sitting here with its leaves draped over? I'm gonna do that, thank you. Illustrator hacks. If you ever really don't want to draw something, just put a really nice vase in front of it. Oh, thank you, Alice.
Oh, Jan Eric says Westworld was convoluted and complex for you. Well, I think Westworld was super cool, but it wasn't that convoluted. I mean, okay, Taylor is asking, I'm unsure why you would use Photoshop Sketch to illustrate instead of Illustrator Draw. Well, in this case, it's a super easy answer, because you would never get this this pencil kind of feeling in Adobe Illustrator Draw. This really looks like pencil, and on the iPad with also the pressure sensitivity of the Apple Pencil, you can really get it very, very natural. Illustrator Draw, on the other hand, gives you crisper lines. It gives you filled colors, and it's another type of technique. So we've seen Robzilla do that in the first 2 hours of this 3-day stream, which started exactly 3 hours ago. And you can watch the replays. By the way, if you go to adobelife.com, there's a whole section for the replays, which will get populated as we go along. And Robzilla's stream is probably there already, so check it out.
Yeah, I do use Illustrator for some of my work, but I do have to explain to people constantly that, just because I'm an illustrator doesn't mean I always use Illustrator. I mostly use Photoshop for my work because, as you say, you can get like a textured approach that more mimics real media. So like a pencil effect or charcoal or pastel or watercolor. All of those things are what Photoshop is great for. And then Illustrator is good for if you're doing like a poster that needs to be printed really large that you would want to be vectorized, or maybe like a screen print design for a t-shirt. Or web graphics that need to be scaled up, where you're not so much trying to make it look like real media, but more just needing like a really crisp image.
That's right, Taylor. So the Photoshop Draw app allows for textured pens and pencils and brushes and things like that, which is a different way of illustration. And not necessarily do you use Illustrator if you're an illustrator. That's Sophia's wisdom for today. I love it. I'm gonna use that one. So Pissin Maga, any plans for a Windows 10 app? I don't think that's necessary, because Windows 10 runs the original apps. So you can do that with Illustrator or Photoshop. So there is no reason for a mobile app to do the same things. The reason why there are mobile apps is because Photoshop would be too complex and Illustrator would be too complex for these flat screens.
Jay
For now.
Mangia says that the illustration of the chair feels very Studio Ghibli and I'm loving it. Thank you. That's a huge compliment to me. I love their work.
And Jenny's saying, Alice, I can't believe you're making this illustration completely using pencil.
Pencil, yeah. Yeah, I kind of like it. It's kind of fun. Yeah.
So Kyle is saying it's very meditative watching both of you draw, relaxing, very calming.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. The pressure is on
It's
for us.
doubly relaxing, you know. Two
Yeah.
screens to watch.
I do like tuning into people's like live drawing stuff
Yeah.
because it does feel like you're co-working or something.
Yeah.
Since Sketch is raster-based, pixel-based, what is the largest size you're able to create in the app? I don't know.
I think it's based on Photoshop Sketch. I will check. I think
Yeah.
it's based on the resolution of the iPad.
Well, when you create the new document, right, you can actually choose the sizes.
Because the iPad Pro is a high-density screen, might be a lot of pixels. I will try to find the answer.
All right. Michael Shays is finding the answer.
Thanks.
Yeah, these screens have a really high resolution, right?
That's right, Jenny. The iPad Pro is Retina.
Maybe it's for the max read values.
Speculation, just like Game of Thrones.
Speculation.
Speculation in the chat.
Oh, what did you say was the... Oh, got it. The eyedropper tool.
Oh, yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
iPad Pro.
So the maximum size for an Adobe Photoshop Sketch document is
With the iPad
2,732 pixels by 2048. So that's with the iPad Pro. Yeah. So yeah, that's usually that's a good size to work with, I think. Oh, Evil Cerise took note. Now he can. What? 3,600, 2,700 on the Mini 2? Okay, we need to figure this out. Actually, all we need to do really is to create a new document, I think.
In order to see what the maximum is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm drawing at letter size right now. That's the dimensions that I chose.
which is actually pretty small because
Yeah.
because if you use the iPad dimension, for example, that's much more. There's many more pixels.
Did you put a dragon in yours yet?
Oh no. Oh, cool. I like
the
yours.
dragons.
I was
Dragons
just
are
thinking
coming.
I need to figure it out.
Do you think you're going to do it like in line afterwards? Like, are you going to ink the lines?
Yeah, my approach for this, I think, is gonna be sketching everything out, and my sketches tend to be super tight like this, and then I do an ink pass where it's like just zoomed way in and like getting all the line weight variations, and then coloring it after that. But I like your approach to jump right into color. That's a lot more liberating, I think.
Yeah, I think I normally spend more time on the sketch, but I feel like right now I just want to be like
jumping into it.
Yeah, like exploring, having fun.
Okay, Evil Series, thank you for confirming. 2732 by 2048. So now in Europe, it's about like Evil Cerise is helping us from Germany.
Oh,
so,
thank you.
Yeah, that's like 9 p.m. there.
Thanks.
Wow.
And you'll probably see him for the next hours as well. Like Evil Cerise is dedicated.
Thank you.
So maybe there's more pixels on the iPad Pro, the smaller one, because Mel Wolverson has 3600 by 2700.
Is there? I remember last year, there was like a lot of music going on in the background.
Yes, there is. There still is.
Oh, really?
All dancing.
Yeah, everybody's dancing in the chat
Cool.
with the music of Andrew Applepie,
Yeah.
Berlin-based musician.
Oh, nice.
And yes, Snorrenden Barden. It's probably a DPI thing. Absolutely. It is definitely a DPI thing.
Cool.
Oh, and Tejos says, I was just going to comment, I love the background music. Well, we can't hear the background music, so enjoy it.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does it sound like?
Can we get like a reenactment?
Yeah. Just right. Just describe it.
Okay.
I think I want to fill out the left side of this composition.
Okay.
Do people want to suggest something
Yeah.
I could put in the background of this piece? I'm open to anything. Please no large animals, though. Those are getting kind of challenging to incorporate. I still have to figure out the dragon.
You
know, I
could
think,
do a tiny dragon.
I think the dragon is going to be like in a drawing on the wall.
Oh, cool.
Ah, that's
not
a good idea.
It's not cheating. It's a creative solution.
Yeah, I think I put in a dragon too.
A seagull. Okay, it's not a very large animal, I guess.
No.
Oops. Oh, a seagull?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. A rose garden. An
Right.
evil kitten with an astronaut helmet.
Evil kitten.
How is it signified that the kitten is evil?
Yeah.
Do we just all know it, or does it need to be doing something evil in order to qualify?
I'm allergic to cats.
Oh, so they're inherently evil to you?
Yeah. But I was looking up hypoallergenic cats yesterday,
Oh, yeah.
but they're really expensive. It's
Mm.
like $2,000.
Couldn't you just give them a haircut? Or does it not work that way?
So I think from what I understand, the allergen comes from their saliva.
I see.
Something like that. I'm not sure. And when they lick themselves, or something, like it has to do with, it's not like what you think it is or something. It's like tricky.
It's not just the dandruff or whatever.
All right, are you guys ready
Yeah.
for a giveaway?
Yeah.
All right, let's give away a printed version of Alice's drawing.
Oh, cool.
Right? Are you guys ready? Yeah, I have a question ready. You
Yeah.
don't answer it. Okay. Because I've had it happen sometimes that I ask the question and the guests answer the question. I said, oh God. Okay. So there's one thing we've been talking about that's missing still in this illustration. Can we just maybe it's an animal? It is an animal, right?
Yeah.
The missing animal, right? There's an animal that we've been talking about and that's missing, and that's going to be included in this drawing. So write down the answer in the chat, and then we're going to have Nightbot, our automated system, choose a lucky winner. We'll win a print of the final drawing that Alice is working on. And in 30 minutes, we're going to be doing the same with Sophia's drawing.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
thanks, Nightbot. That's nice of you.
Yeah, that was a very easy question. So maybe next time, in 30 minutes,
Yeah.
I will be very, very. I will have to find a more difficult question.
Yeah, we could totally do something like
Sneaky.
difficult.
Yeah. We've talked about a lot of things. I don't think I got all the dinosaur. Who suggested
Yeah,
dinosaur?
I didn't get the evil cat either.
What was there before the evil cat and after the seagull?
Well, definitely the one that everybody's typing
Yes.
about.
I'm adding that one to mine right now.
And I'm wishing good luck to everyone because Nightbot is a cold bot. It's a bot.
Are there warm bots? Who have
Well, yes. maybe.
sympathy and
Yeah,
kindness?
I think so. I hope so.
Yeah, me too. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love that story from last week. The Facebook bots that like tried to negotiate with each other and then they invent their own language.
Wow.
That's
I
cool.
didn't hear about that. That's amazing.
It's freaky.
I mean, as long as they're doing good things, I don't mind.
Yeah. Well, the step from good to bad.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why people say our conversations are so deep.
As we go down these roads.
All right. And Nightbot will give us a lucky winner. Not doing anything. My hands are here.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, Miss Beth.
Congrats, Miss
Beth.
Beth.
Congrats,
Congratulations.
Miss Beth.
So, Miss Beth, what we need from you is that you put here in the chat on Adobe Live.
Your
.com.
address. Just kidding.
No,
No, please no.
full address, phone number, everything. No. Don't do that.
Social security.
Don't do that. What we need from you is your Twitter handle so that we can DM you all the information you need to provide us with in order to claim your prize. You've just won yourself a print of Alice's final drawing.
Yay!
Yay. Miss Beth.
Does it say how many people are watching? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, Helen, I feel your pain. Nightbot is cold. Nightbot is impartial.
The Night King.
Nightbot is
Nick.
the Night King. Miss Beth, here you are. All right, we need your Twitter handle, Miss Beth. I love how on both sides of the screen we see completely different approaches to drawing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know, it's funny. But I think I'm gonna start inking fairly soon.
Yeah.
But usually before I ink, I do like just a quick test of how I want the colors to look eventually.
Oh, did you say that there is a limit on the number of layers? There's like 20.
Yeah, something.
Okay.
I think you just hit it.
I'll just merge it.
Can you merge them?
Did you
Yeah,
hit
yeah.
it?
No, I was
You
just
hit the limit?
preemptively thinking.
Okay, preemptively thinking.
Yeah.
So,
oh shoot! Can I use the charger?
Charland Brew is asking, how would you say that Adobe Photoshop Sketch compares to Procreate? We had a very good answer from Robzilla in the first show today, and maybe we can talk about his answer after we hear yours. Have you tried Procreate?
I've used it like once or twice, but I haven't. I've spent more time in Sketch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. It's I think it's a brand thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like that, like silly, but yeah.
I've used it on my friends' iPads, and it's fun, but it feels more like a tool to kind of play around. I'm so used to working in like Photoshop that this language is much more familiar to me, and it feels more organized. It feels like I could use this for like actual pieces, and in my work, like there's much more potential to build something.
Cool. Yeah, Robzilla said basically that he liked Illustrator Draw better because it gave him some limitations, and that Procreate like had so many choices to work with, like so many different ways.
Yeah, I think the simple layout is like very.
I think the simplicity. Yeah. Is that a backpack?
Yeah, it's gonna have plants.
The dragon in it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Maybe it could be one of those.
Stuart Ramsey said, "You talked about collaboration at the beginning. It would work if Sophia made her picture a window and Alice's image was the view she sees.
Oh,
I would
cool.
love to see how that could be done. I just made this window here. If
I
you
could-
zoom out really quickly, I
Yeah.
can see if I can make this work.
There's
Okay.
gonna be like giant plants. It's like a tiny person in like a
Okay.
giant vegetable garden.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what is the person walking on top of? You can't see it, I guess.
Yeah, you can't see.
Okay, I'm gonna have like a little sort of rock visible out through the window.
Yeah. Wait. Let's
And
see.
then
Is
your
this not
little
charging?
person.
It is charging. Okay.
So yes, Charland Brew, you can import your own brushes from Photoshop to Photoshop
And they
Sketch.
have a backpack.
Yes, you can.
Maybe I'll do something too.
Maybe like this could sort of be visible
Oh,
in the very distant
Twitter handle.
background.
Yeah.
Because I'm having this person walking,
Thank you, Miss Beth.
holding. Let's see. if I
All
get
clear.
this right.
You will be contacted.
Yeah. And there's a dress.
By our lovely Adobe Live staff.
And then the huge plants are kind of like. Okay, cool. I think I basically did it. There. That's your
Yeah.
drawing visible through the window.
Okay.
And then we'll see how this pans out as the pieces go on. Depending on what kind of stuff you add, I might need to change it.
Did
but
I
as long
just
as
see a
it's
low battery alarm somewhere?
Yeah, but I am charging. It's
Okay,
12%. Yeah.
But yes, let's
maybe
just
I'll
hope, because if it goes too low, it won't have the power to send the image out.
Oh, okay.
It happened to me. That's why I know. So yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll do yours somehow too.
okay, yeah, no
Yeah.
worries, no pressure. It would be easier once I get some colors down. So that's actually what I'm gonna go now. Do now. I have this basically laid out. I'm gonna mess around and figure out the colors for the whole thing. Do you think you'll be working on the same one the whole time?
Yeah, maybe. I was actually hoping to get it done today, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
So we need 40 minutes of power on your iPad.
40 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. I had mine at I think it was at 40% when we
Okay.
started. So
But it's not charging.
it is charging.
It is?
Yeah, it just went up. I don't know why it keeps
Okay.
giving me that.
Okay.
Switched it. Yeah.
Just checking, just checking.
I think we're good. Hopefully.
Taylor says you could have postcards of photos in her backpack, and the other illustration could be on the postcard.
Yeah, sure.
Like a descending,
It's like
one is contained within the other and vice versa.
from one universe to the other.
Oh, that's intense.
Yeah.
Maybe they're the same person.
Living a parallel life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
How long have you been in your studio for?
A couple of years, maybe 2 years. I really like it. I like being able to get out of the house and feel like I'm working in an office, even though it's all of my own design, you know?
Yeah, totally.
And the atmosphere with my studio mates is really convivial. We share advice on what we're working on and stuff.
Do you guys collaborate ever?
We have sometimes. One time we threw a party and we collaborated on the poster.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say we collaborated on the party.
We did that too, yeah. But yeah, it was we did a the exquisite corpse drawings of the surrealists, where you kind of start with a
where you do the top and then
Helen is asking both of you, and what age did you start drawing, and when did it become a profession?
Oh, haha, good question. Do you want to go first?
I started drawing when I was...
cool! What were you doing?
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah. What I'm doing now, by the way, in case anyone was curious, is this is how I pick my palettes for pieces. I kind of use the different blend modes of the brushes, overlay or color burn or multiply, and kind of pick a bunch of colors and then play around with them until I have a palette that I like. I'm just doing this off in the corner here, experimenting until I see something that pops out at me, and then I pick maybe 4 or 5 colors and build the piece off of that. But yeah, to answer your question, I started drawing when I was really young. I would do drawings in kindergarten. I remember I had a bunch of Lisa Frank binders. Did you have those?
Sweet, yeah.
Yeah, with rainbow killer whales and tigers, and I would meticulously copy them because I was so into them. And then that grew into doing my own designs, and I started doing comics for fun when I was maybe a little older, in 3rd grade. But at the time I didn't know that it could ever possibly turn into a profession. But when I was partway through high school, I decided to take a pre-college program at MICA.
Oh, cool.
Which is where a lot of my friends wound up going for art school, but I actually went to RISD, and that was definitely, it was around then when I got accepted, 18 or so, that I knew that I was going to really try my best to do it full time.
That's pretty cool. Did you grow up in that area?
No, not at all. I grew up in Florida, where the Ringling School of Art and Design is.
Oh, I see.
So I kind of knew that art schools were a thing. But it wasn't until I actually spent time there that I realized that there was a profession in it.
Yeah, that's cool.
How about you?
I have a really weird way that I got into drawing. I've been into drawing just as a person for a long time. But professionally, I actually went to business school for college.
Oh, wow.
And then after I but you know, I was into like Lisa Frank stuff, and I was into like the Asian version, which is like Hello Kitty, Sanrio, Kuropi, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But then after I graduated, I got a job as a product designer at Dropbox, and then through that experience, I like weaseled my way into being an illustrator at Dropbox, and then doing that full time. Oh shoot!
What happened?
I was drawing the wrong layer.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah, I was like, why is it so weird looking?
Happens to the best of us.
And then I left to freelance, so I've just been drawing ever since.
That's right, Miguel.
They talk a lot.
Yeah, they talk a lot. Like I said, I'm totally useless.
Just tuning in from Florida, are they represented, or how to find work? Is the question like Eleanor is shouting out Lisa Frank binders. Is the question like where to get involved in the art scene in Florida? Because I haven't been there in a while, so
no. Probably the question is, are you represented? Do you have an agent, or how do you find work?
Oh, cool question.
Yeah, some of my friends have agents. I've never given it a shot. I would, but at the moment I'm like getting enough just through my social media presence, I think, and by like working in high profile magazines like The New Yorker. I think other art directors find my stuff through there.
So word of mouth.
Yeah, and sort of being present in the scene, connecting with other illustrators, maybe getting referred by them. My illustrator friends and I, if we get a gig, like a cold email from an art director and we can't take the job, usually it's like good etiquette to refer a friend of yours that you know is free, just to like kind of keep it in your network.
Yeah.
And then hopefully your friends can return the favor at some point.
Have you ever considered getting an agent?
I have. Yeah, especially with projects like book projects or children's books where you're going to be working with an art director and a writer for maybe like 6 months to 9 months at a time, and it would really help to have, you know, someone on your team to work out like deadlines and compensation and stuff. Someone who knows the industry really well and knows what's standard, because if I did a gig like that now, I don't know if I would have enough information.
Yeah, interesting.
How about you? Would you ever get representation, do you think?
I do not currently have an agent, but I was actually curious about your response because a couple actually reached out to me this year, but I didn't. But it just like wasn't the right fit. But yeah, it's something I'm kind of thinking about. I do a lot of work in the tech industry, but I just see myself as an illustrator, like for in general, not just like one type, like one industry. So I think it would be cool to get someone to help with the business aspect of things, with regards to the stuff that I currently have going on, but also try to expand into like other industries that seem like a bit further away. But yeah, I'm curious about other people's experiences. So yeah.
Yeah, I have friends who are represented, and they, through that, get to do really cool projects like murals abroad, or maybe like storyboarding for an animation, or textile design for like a scarf. And those are industries that I have no personal experience in. I consider myself like very much in the editorial space right now, like editorial and books. So yeah, getting those other kinds of gigs would be ideal. My dream of dreams is to do like set design for a theater performance.
Oh, cool.
And the costume design. But that is like, yeah, I would definitely need an in with that industry.
I was looking at I'm clearly obsessed with Game of Thrones. I was just Googling like Game of Thrones production designers. I just wanted to look at people's portfolios and stuff. And I found this awesome story artist who worked on Game of Thrones, which was just so cool to me.
That's funny. Like doing
storyboarding.
Oh yeah, cool. It would be so cool to have that gig and then see something that you doodled like be on TV with real people acting it out one day.
Jenny's asking, what is some advice for someone who wants to get into editorial illustrations? Is this something very specific, like editorial illustrations, or would you say it's illustration? And then,
I mean, the appeal of editorial illustration, I would say, is that the turnaround is very quick. So if you're an unestablished illustrator, editorial art directors like to have fresh voices in all the time and like new styles, and there's less risk avoidance in that field because they can just sort of take someone on for a week and see how it goes. So it's how a lot of people break into the illustration industry. So that said, I guess like definitely have work that shows your conceptual thinking skills, because with editorial work, unlike book illustration or like something that's like a narrative illustration, with editorial illustration you sometimes have to distill really complicated articles that are maybe about topics like health or politics or relationships, and you're not always going to be just illustrating the content of the article, but kind of getting at the themes behind it. So yeah, just kind of like look through magazines in the New York Times and see how people are kind of using abstraction to tell the story instead of straightforward narrative.
So I think there's two things, like variety of work is important, unless you're pushing like a very specific style that you want to be recognized for, and this is something unique to you. And also I think the amount of work that's shown, because that gives a good idea of the ability to repeat like a certain style or a certain way of drawing.
Yeah, I would say a good portfolio would be something that shows a degree of consistency in the quality so that the art director knows what they're going to get, but also a flexibility in the kind of work that you're doing. So like a strong voice, but then also a lot of range as far as the kinds of things you can draw.
So Kyle Webster is asking, which currently working artists do you each admire or look up to?
Ooh. Good question.
You go first.
I go first?
Yeah.
Well, I actually admire a lot of the artists that I admire do a lot of work in the editorial industry. So like Yuko Shimizu and Victo Nai.
Oh, I went to school with Victo.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we had our senior show together.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, I find myself being really drawn to like contemporary working illustrators who have a lot of like Asian influences in their work. Yeah. Let me think of other. I mean, there's so many. I
find it hard when I'm put on the spot, even
I know.
though like I literally have hundreds and hundreds of people.
Yeah, there's so many people in animation whose work I admire.
There are a lot of indie cartoonists I like. I don't know if people would have heard of them necessarily. Eleanor, who might still be in the chat.
Oh yeah, her work is so awesome.
One of my favorite illustrators and cartoonists, and like she does it all. She does like gorgeous illustrative work, but then also like really intense and thoughtful and complex and respectful narrative comic work that everyone should check out.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a fan of the Google Doodle team.
Oh yeah, I
shout out.
Yeah, a lot of my coworkers from there have moved on, but then there's like a new generation of mega talented people there.
Second generation.
Yeah.
Third generation.
Yeah. Shout out to my friend Kevin Laughlin on the Doodle team. He's one of my favorite illustrators of all time.
What about yourself? Who are other illustrators that you, or artists, or anyone? Oh, the Game of Thrones costume department. legit.
Works of art.
Yeah.
Oh, Eleanor. Yeah, I was having it say me. That's great. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Everyone check out Eleanor's work. She's a gem. We're lucky to have her. I also really like Jillian Tamaki's work. She's another sort of multi-talented editorial illustrator and cartoonist
so awesome.
who does narrative work. Lately I've been really into like textile design. A friend of mine just told me about this textile designer in Brooklyn named Annie Lee Larson who does knitwear, but kind of with like illustrative elements. And since a lot of my stuff has like abstract shape and color aspects, I'm like trying to get that to influence my work as well.
Talking together.
Cool.
How much more time do you have? Where's the...
I think we have 30 minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna start inking.
Ooh.
I've like roughed out the palette, but it's gonna get like more complicated once I. But I always test out colors before I start inking, just because it can affect like how much detail I put into certain parts if I know they're gonna be a certain color. Or like I also like to add solid black areas, so it helps to kind of know what the color distribution is gonna be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna do a new layer and then kind of like zoom right in and add a lot more details to these.
So Sophia, we're gonna be giving away your drawing now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So you guys said you had a question in mind.
Oh.
You have to whisper it to me.
Okay.
There's microphones listening to us.
A question that people can guess?
Yeah.
Like a trivia? If they've been watching?
A trivia
Yes,
question?
exactly.
If they've been watching closely? Oh my god. Did you have one in mind?
I had one, but I forgot. Oh! Oh yeah, I guess I'll whisper it. I'll ask you first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Genesis
Oh.
idea in the first place. Or like,
Oh, I see.
yeah.
Yeah. That's a real deep cut. I don't know if people were paying close enough attention
Alright,
to get
go
that. But
Let's hear.
Oh, you should.
just say what's the
Sorry.
That should be one word.
I don't know if anyone's gonna get that. It should be something easy,
This?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck, everyone. If it's too hard,
Yeah.
maybe we can come up with something else.
Yeah. Yeah. Good solution.
All right. So you ask a question.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Can anyone remember when I first started sketching this? Alice and I were talking about a zine that I'm currently working on. Can anyone remember the topic of the zine? It was just a single word that I threw out there, but maybe someone was listening.
I know I have low
closely.
battery again. Thanks, Stuart, for the catch.
Is it flashing?
Oh, I have 9%. I don't know why it keeps
Yeah.
fluctuating. It keeps going between 9 and 12.
Because
Maybe
we're
because the
doing
connection?
intensive stuff.
Seems a little.
Yeah, but it's weird that it goes up and down as opposed to consistently one way.
Yeah.
It's
Let's
strange.
just cross our fingers that.
Yeah, let's just cross. Yeah,
It'll
I
hold
can
for the
lower
next-
I can lower the brightness.
Oh my god. My
Oh,
god.
wow. Some
What?
people were listening.
Some people were
Yeah.
listening, and I tell you, the people in the chat, you guys are the best.
So attentive. Yeah.
Because
Oh
They
wait, but
stick
if
with
one
us.
person gets it, then
well, that is true as well. That is true as well. And
at least one person
that's
is listening.
hilarious.
okay, so we get more power for you.
Oh,
Oh,
thanks.
good.
Okay, then I will bring it back.
Do you have a favorite inking brush? I'm trying to decide. This one is a little.
Thanks.
All right.
You know, I might just use the graphite, but then adjust
And
the
yes, who actually gave the original answer
flow. Yeah,
here?
props to
Yeah.
that person.
So of course, Nightbot will coldly choose from the right answer. But I'm curious to see who was actually the first one
Just with the exclamation point and the
Yeah. Kyle Knapp. Kyle Knapp.
Congratulations, I'm flattered.
So what do you say we do something special? Like we're gonna have Nightbot at work, but Kyle gets one too.
No.
No? Oh, Michael said no.
I'm denied.
No, because after they will ask, they will always say, I was first.
Ah, yes. That's right. No, we can't change the rules. We can't change the rules in the middle of the game. Sorry, Kyle. No.
Oh, maybe
No,
he will win.
yeah, maybe Nightbot will choose you, but
Yeah, let's see.
mm-hmm.
No. It's not kind. Next time.
Congratulations.
Oh,
Teju
so-
Shah.
Congratulations.
Tejus Shah. You've won the giveaway. So Tejus, we need your Twitter handle here in the chat. And Kyle, I'm sorry.
Next
You
time.
get
But
our
Kyle, just imagine
Yeah.
this. You
Respect.
inspired the whole chat
Yeah,
Yeah.
to
seriously.
give the right answer. So thank you, Kyle.
Yeah, that's pretty hard.
Yes. And Kyle, thank you for sticking with us since the beginning because you wouldn't have known it. Unless the mic was hot, but oh, Kyle has no hard feelings. It's all good. It's all good.
That's nice.
Yes. And remember, guys, that there is an ongoing competition here. If you go on adobelive.com, there's a button down below on the left that says contest. And if you press that button, you have all the information you need. Basically, what we ask you to do is to use either Adobe Photoshop Sketch or Adobe Illustrator Draw and create an illustration, inspired by our great guest these 3 days about summer. The theme of the illustration is summer. How are you going to represent summer in your illustration? And what we ask you to do is to share your illustrations with us either on Twitter or Instagram using the Adobe Live hashtag. Hashtag Adobe Live. And you have until 11 p.m. That's again a rule that Michael Shez made up. So many rules. Until 11 p.m. on Thursday Pacific time to submit your illustrations. And on Friday, M. Shez on Twitter will announce the 10 winners. The 10 best illustrations that were submitted to us. And the 10 winners will actually win a 1-year subscription to Adobe Creative Cloud and also a 1-year subscription to Adobe Stock. Basically, we give you 10 stock images a month for a total of 120 stock images that you can use in your creative workflows. So great prizes.
High five.
Nice.
Yeah. Participate. Adobe Live hashtag.
Oh, tips for a young illustration major.
Young, like a sophomore or a junior?
Yeah.
There's
or
a big difference between those two years. I'm actually
young at heart.
I'm
Yes.
teaching an illustration class right now, so I'd say my students in that class have a lot of anxiety about like picking a style, which was the case when I was like a student as well.
Yeah, it feels very resonant.
And I think I can't give you kind of catch-all advice, but if that's your particular worry, I would say don't have too much anxiety about picking a style. If you feel like you don't have one, it just means that you need to do more soul searching and you can't rush that. Feel free to take time to experiment. The more you rush yourself, the more you'll wind up with something you're not happy with. So really just give yourself as much time as you need to settle into an approach that works well for you. It should feel very natural. I mean, everyone struggles with their work sometimes, but you want your style to be kind of an expression of like your priorities in illustration. It should feel fun even when it's a challenge.
And Kyle says, Kyle Webster, spend some time drawing from observation and the style will emerge naturally.
Yeah, that's true.
Eventually. A style is born.
Just like your handwriting.
Yeah.
I did a lot of weird things in college, like art-wise, because I was not in an art program, and that was very helpful for me because I got opportunities that way that I obviously would like never have gotten. So I would say there's like a lot of experimentation that you can do, especially with just like personally initiated projects on the internet.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, don't wait necessarily for the right opportunity to land in your lap. If you have something that you're passionate about, like there's a whole community out there that you can access from anywhere in the world who will kind of bounce off of whatever is interesting to you, and all those people will be able to connect you to opportunities. So, you know, yeah, don't sort of sit around hoping that something will pop up that's perfect for you. You can kind of, you know, make your own opportunities by expressing to the world what interests you, and then if you're a good fit for a project, then you'll be the first illustrator that someone thinks of.
Yeah, never give up. Because, I mean, have you ever been told, you know, what are you doing? Illustration? Are you crazy? Get a real job.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like illustration is such a niche field that I think it's easy for people to pigeonhole it as, you know, a starving artist type deal. But when you, again, if you take the time to build a community, then you're going to have people out there supporting you that you can kind of check in with when things are hard. And that way you'll be able to decide for yourself whether it's worth it for you. Because it's, you know, it's not a field for everyone, but it deserves, you know, your best shot.
Oh, that's a good question. What percentage of time do you give yourself for personal projects, and how much to client work? Currently, I give a lot of my time to client work and very little to personal projects.
But did you feel bad about it?
I do feel sad, yeah. So, I mean, actually, ideally, I would say like 50-50, maybe even more towards personal. But I would say like this year, I've had a lot of difficulty finding time for personal work, just because clients.
Which is a good thing because it means you have a lot of requests, but on the other hand,
long game, What about yourself?
Yeah, it depends. I would say the percentage is a reflection of like, it's not by day or by week, but by month, because I'll go through times where I'm just like really working 100% of my work time on client work if I have a busy week, and then I'll have a week where there's kind of a lull, and that's just like a natural part of freelancing, and then that's time for me to kind of say it's time for me to spend personal time working on my own projects, and you know, those might bring me work in the future, but I think of them as kind of like a personal time to think about the direction I really want my work to go in, independent of what a client needs. And illustration is such a interesting field that there are plenty of times when client work can kind of almost become personal work because it's so fun.
Yeah, totally.
And then vice versa. Like
when they let you do, when they let you do whatever you want, right?
Yeah, exactly. And those are my favorite assignments, when I get an art director who's sort of like, I'm just a big fan and I want you to be happy. So, and then the reverse is also true. Like sometimes you do personal work that someone sees it and they want to hire you to do more of it. So in that respect, it's sort of like personal work that became client work. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Feel free to ask more questions. Yeah. These are all really great. And I also recommend to all my students to keep a sketchbook, even while they're working full-time on projects, just so that they always feel like they have an avenue where they can be themselves, independent of what someone is telling them to do. That's going to kind of help you keep track of your own voice, even if you're feeling pressure to be a certain way, artistically.
Oh my god.
What?
The dragon.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's in there. There it goes.
Trying to figure out how to incorporate
Amazing.
this guy.
Jenny's asking, what kind of sketchbook do you guys keep on hand?
This is my sketchbook
Yeah.
here.
Ooh, cool.
It's a Muji B6 size sketchbook. The paper quality is it's not really that thick, but that kind of encourages me to not be precious with the drawings in it. And it's a really great size. It's very portable, which is my main priority in a sketchbook, so I can take it while I travel.
Yeah.
How about you?
I have a really big sketchbook. It's like the size of a piece
The
of paper.
iPad?
Yeah, and I just keep it at my office. Yeah.
So you don't travel with it?
Not really. I have similarly sized small ones for traveling. I just lose them a lot, so
I know.
try not to write down too much important info.
My issue is that I think I've lost one and then I find it again and then I'm carrying around 2 sketchbooks and trying to finish both of them at the same time.
That's right. In exactly 14 minutes, Shyama Golden will be with us for the next 2 hours. This is day 1 of our live stream, entirely dedicated to mobile illustration.
Ooh.
Yes.
Do I keep a collection? Yeah, I do. They're all like half finished, or like 75% finished. But yeah, it is cool to look back on.
I keep them. Sometimes I want to get rid of them, but there's always something that I feel might be useful in the future. It's funny because I went through so many different sketchbook brands before I settled on this one, which I like a lot. So there's a whole variety, and then there's 2 years where it's just the same Muji sketchbook over and over.
And Kyle Knapp says, Muji makes the best pens too.
Oh yeah, Muji's pens are amazing. I'm a huge fan of all of their stationery.
Noah, to answer your question, if Photoshop Sketch can work in high resolution, yes. Actually, we talked about that earlier today, about the resolution that Photoshop Sketch can work at, and basically it's I don't remember, but
Almost 3,000.
almost 3,000 by 2040 pixels. So. And if you want to work resolution independent, well, there's Adobe Illustrator Draw, which actually creates evil series. What would I do without you? He knows everything now. He's the source of information. And yes, if you want to draw in vector-based or create vector-based illustrations, well, Illustrator Draw is the answer. Kevin says, I don't know what the secret is, but to fill a sketchbook is impossible for me. Yeah, because I think it's sketchbooks are like chapters in your life, and sometimes the chapter ends before the sketchbook ends, and you need to start on a new one. I told you guys it's deep today.
Yeah,
Deep,
seriously.
So deep.
It's like metaphors for other things. Sad.
So yeah, I hear you.
And sometimes the book ends before you're ready.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you need
Oh
to
my
start a
God.
second one, and then.
And then
yeah.
it's halfway full. Yeah.
Exactly. Sketchbooks.
I feel like, especially young artists, have a lot of curiosity about tools that established artists use, but I would say, even though I really like talking tools with people and learning about what other people use, the most important thing is just to find something that you're comfortable with that makes it easy for you to draw whenever you feel like it. So it's not necessarily about the, imitating the look of your favorite artist. Just pick something that provides the least resistance to making work. That's the key.
Yeah, and Taylor says, I keep on trying to click on your illustrations to zoom in.
I will zoom in.
Mm-hmm. So guys, we have 4 more minutes together and until we go to the next stream. So are there any things that you want to tell us about tomorrow? What's happening tomorrow? Because this is day 1 of a 3-day stream.
Yeah.
Or do you want to keep it a secret?
I mean,
I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try to finish this.
Yes.
I would like to finish this, but if people are more interested in seeing like a new piece,
Oh yeah.
I'm down to do that too. I think I could probably finish inking this in the first half an hour of the stream, and maybe then if people have ideas for something that they want to pitch or something that we could both work on together somehow, definitely bring those ideas and we'll be game to try them.
Yeah, because we're going to be live again tomorrow with Alice and Sophia from 11 to 1 p.m. From 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific time for another 2 hours for day 2. So yeah, I think that's a good plan. Let's see how these 2 illustrations evolve, and then find out what the chat wants. I think that's very democratic of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Totally.
and see where that leads us.
Yeah, especially if there are techniques that you'd like us to try.
And everybody remember that on adobelive.com there is an ongoing competition, a contest. Basically, there's a button down below on the left that says contest. And what we ask you to do is to create an illustration using either Photoshop Sketch or Illustrator Draw. And the theme of that illustration is summer. Very cunningly. Yes, because we are in the summer.
Indeed.
Yes, indeed. So summer, how would you storytell about summer? And then what we ask you to do is to share those illustrations with us that you've created with Photoshop Sketch or Illustrator Draw on Twitter or Instagram using the hashtag Adobe Live. Hashtag Adobe Live. And you have until Thursday, August the 10th, 11 p.m. Pacific time to submit your entries. And on Friday morning, Michael Shez at mshez on Twitter will tweet the 10 winners. And you actually get to win. The 10 winners get to win a 1-year Creative Cloud subscription and a 1-year Adobe Stock subscription for 10 images, 10 assets a month. So that's 120 assets for a whole year. So participate numerously in our contest. It'll be awesome. And tomorrow we can spend some time also looking at some of the submissions that people are sending.
Oh, fun.
us.
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
And also there's a button, very important for us, give us your feedback. On adobelive.com there's a button next to the contest button, to the portfolio button and the join the Creative Cloud button. Give us your feedback. Just a few questions so we get a reality check on what you think about Adobe Live. All right, so please give us your feedback.
Yeah.
All right, Sophia, Alice,
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys.
thanks for being with us, and see you tomorrow.
Bye.
And stay tuned, we'll be right back in just over 5 minutes.